What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today is my first review of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes after 7 days played. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I'd recommend just having a little look to see my progress if you're interested in that sort of thing. In this video, we're going to be talking about the things that I like about the game, the things I don't like about the game, and my overall thoughts going forward from here. So let's start off with what Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is. It's a collectible character Star Wars game, kind of like Pokemon, where you collect your favorite Star Wars characters and you duke it out. You gear them up, you make them stronger. You can unlock more characters by doing certain things. As you level up, more things become available to you, like different ways to get new characters, different game modes to play, all that sort of stuff. It is a free to play game, so in saying that, you have to be aware that there are some things that are convenience based, so you can just pay or provide premium currency in order to skip those sort of things. For full disclosure, I haven't done that yet, so I will start by showing you the achievement at the bottom of this list. So the first one is make a shipment purchase with crystals. Hasn't been done yet, and more importantly, make an in-game app purchase. Neither of those things have happened. So let's start off with what I like. First of all, we need to look at the characters. There are hundreds of characters available. I'll show you just a couple so you can sort of see. There's heaps you can find from all the different eras of Star Wars. What I really like to see is that there's some older characters too. So I'll give you one example from my favorite Star Wars game, Knights of the Republic. Here's Karth Onasi. So he's actually from those games. This doesn't just follow canon Star Wars, it follows the extended universe as well. So there is something for basically everyone, depending on who you like to play. You can eventually work your way to get these characters, which is really, really good. There's a long sense of progression. Each character has multiple different ways to level them up. So if we go straight back to the top here, it will just take me a moment to get back up there. If we go straight back to the top here, you'll see with my best character, Kanan, he is level 45. His gear ranks is number 6, and he's working his way to number 7. And there's two things here that are unlocked, as well as a ship down the bottom that is yet to be unlocked as well. If we have a quick look here, you can see I've got a couple of shards here if you look on the bottom right. There's a lot to do in this game, and as you progress, it slowly unlocks it for you. So there is a long-term sense of progression. There's multiple different avenues in which people can pursue new characters. Each one of these game modes that you'll see here, from light side to dark side battles, the cantina battles, challenges, arena table, galactic battles, and events. Soon to be also with the ships, and I think there's another one as well with mod challenges and championships. There's a whole different way to play this game. It's all progressed as you play. It all unlocks as you progress and play through the game. And from what I can see at the moment, I would actually say it's quite free to play friendly if you are able to sit down and understand that it's going to take you a long time to unlock anything. So, in saying that, we're going to quickly just work our way into a battle so we can have a quick look. We'll go through something that we know we can beat. So, from here, you'll pick a team. You can go through it. It's pretty straightforward. You can pick an ally at a later point. Here's my team for this battle. And basically, you can input the commands yourself, or you can auto battle it, and you can just select the units that you want to attack. We've got all of our abilities down here in the bottom right. We're just going to speed our way through just to show you just what the combat looks like. This is the Phoenix squad. You can build a squad of like-minded characters. So in this case, these are all from Star Wars Rebels. They synergize really well together. Players can actually build teams based on their favorite characters that synergize well together and come up with some really interesting combinations. In some game modes, they're not limited to their factions, so you can actually mix and match light and dark side heroes, which makes it really interesting. It allows you to sort of just work your way through it. So it's been a really good sort of mix to allow you to go, oh, I want to use like Mara Jade and say Luke Skywalker, for example, and you can use those two characters and just have a little bit of fun. You can have Darth Revan and Jedi Revan next to each other if you want to, as another example. So there is just plenty of good ways to sort of create teams and have a bit of fun. And again, if you can find the synergies between them, you can actually make some really good combinations and make some really killer teams if you can get your hands on the actual characters, which, from what I understand, it's fairly easy to do. It's really just a matter of time. You can speed it up by paying real money, but the game actually doesn't throw it in your face too often. So as you can see here, we get a few rewards as well. Always a good thing. So now that you have a bit of an idea about the game, let me talk to you about some of my personal pros with the game. First things first, as I just finished saying, I think the game is quite free to play friendly. It has loot boxes in it. For those of you who don't know what they are, they're basically a chance at getting random awards for usually a premium currency. In this circumstance, if we look here at Cantina battles, you can actually pick the shards that you want for different characters. I have been currently working on, if you haven't seen my previous videos, this one here, which gives Ezra and Kanan. You'll see the possible rewards on the right. And I can farm these shards until I max out the characters. And then I can just battle along at the top here and pick different ones that I want to unlock. The game actually lets you do that without having to engage with any sort of loot mechanics. If we go to shipments, again, quite the same as well. If you have a look here, there's a whole heap of characters that you can earn with in-game currency. There's just more and more, and these are from different areas in the game. Squad Arena is PvP. Galactic War is like a little roguelike sort of game mode where it resets every single day. If we go back up, Cantina Battles, you just saw before, so it's just like hunting for shards. If I want to use crystals, I can, and I can unlock quite a few shards all in one hit. And the featured shipment section is a bit of a mix and match between credits and crystals. So there's also that as well. It's got a really, really diverse roster to allow you to play the game and unlock the characters without having to spend money. So I have to give them probably the biggest pro is that they do understand that people do want to play this game free to play. And there's plenty of other things here that I've even yet to unlock, which is just awesome. The second big pro is I think the game actually caters to new players really well. If we go over here to the objectives section, to the quests, a lot of these quests will give you characters that synergize really well together. So I've been working on the Phoenix squad. You can see here that this quest will give me 50 shards for Zeb, an absolute massive amount. There's another one here that gives, where is it? I think we passed it already. Yeah, it's up the top here. 50 shards for Hera. Like, absolutely massive amounts of shards. And these characters synergize really well. Sabine, I also got as well through doing quests. They gave me this basically for nothing, just for completing the quest and doing some fairly simple objectives that you can just complete through the course of your playtime. In fact, most of these characters up the top here, and I'll cycle through them so you can see, have all come from a mixture of doing like Cantina battles, events, and all that sort of stuff. And they've just been unlocked just by playing the game. There's been no need to like purchase them or anything like that. Pretty much all of these characters have come from one shape of a way or another, from like an event or some sort of free giveaway. It's been really good. My top two rows are pretty much the teams I'm using exclusively at the moment. As you can see, they're the most geared. And again, all free. So they understand that new players are going to be at a disadvantage. They're not really going to know what to do. If you have a look here with the team synergies, you can see they offer you a full team synergy right for free just by playing the game. In this case, for under 7 days, because I've had all of these 5 characters at the top for about 2 days now, so it's been pretty good. This second row, there is a bit of a mismatch at the moment, but if you have a look, I'm only missing Stormtrooper, and Stormtrooper I'll have in just maybe a day or two. So all in all, despite, and to keep in mind also, I haven't really been focusing on my dark side characters, so there is something to say to that as well. But in saying that, very easy to get, quick, simple, easy, decent characters that allow me to sort of work on my way through the game until I feel like I need to either earn different characters or I want to try something new. I think the third and final pro for this, if there's something else I can think of, I'll add it at the end. But my third and final pro is that this game understands that it is a marathon and not a sprint. So, in saying that, some people might be turned off by this, but there is heaps of stuff to do as a single player or as a guild and all that sort of stuff. All of these characters and ships can be unlocked, and some of them are really easy to do. Some of them are, from what I can understand after such a short amount of time playing, like ridiculously long-term investments. So if you have a look here, I've been working on the Emperor. I am one battle away from unlocking him, but I need to star up my characters in order to be able to fight him, and I also need to have a higher recommended power for each character. I need 6,300 and my highest is 4,711. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but you can do this with all of these characters here. Like if we go like here to Luke Skywalker, you can see like I can get into this fight. All I need is R2D2. So if I go back up to here, there's R2D2, and you can see I can fight and start to unlock R2D2, but I need to obviously have these characters, which I have, and I could probably win this first fight now, but there's no point at the moment. I'm more looking towards unlocking Emperor Palpatine, but there is that option. So there is just heaps and heaps and heaps of things to do. There's something to do with your guilds, like unlocking other characters as well. So there's just serious long-term progression moving through. As you can see here, territory battles, that's a game mode I've not even seen yet, right up to Galactic Legends. You'll notice there's no scrolling here. There's just a couple of characters that are classified as Galactic Legends. We're going to go into, I think this is Lord Vader, and just look at the prerequisites for this. You can see that this is going to take some serious time to be able to get all of this stuff unlocked. I haven't even unlocked relics yet, so there is just a heap of things to do. It's going to take a serious amount of time to get to this point. And again, judging by how this game works, yes, I think there's going to be quite a few low points or slow points in the game, but it understands that for people who enjoy it, there is a lot to do long term to be able to work towards these characters. There's also ships as well, which is something I haven't even started working with yet. So there's a new game mode and a new sort of little game to play in between in order to actually help push that progression. So I think in terms of gameplay for someone who really enjoys the game and can see themselves playing it in the long term, you won't run out of content. I couldn't even put a ballpark onto how long it would take to be able to get sort of everything. I don't think it's even possible in a reasonable amount of time. That being said, I can only think currently of two cons. The first one is the time gating. So, unfortunately, because this is an energy-based game, yes, there are points where you get time gated out of content and you have to either wait for your energy to refill. But Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes has another weird little thing where it actually locks you out based on your account level, which is a little bit strange considering, especially those who can like get some stronger characters from allies and guild members to assist them. It just sort of feels like it's a little bit redundant and you're sort of stuck waiting to unlock more things. It's not the end of the world, but it just seems a little bit strange for someone who wants to say, just beat that content quicker and then just farm at a higher level if they have the energy and the resources and the power level to do it. I wouldn't say it's a game breaker, but I just found it a little bit strange considering now I'm fairly close to the power level cap here again in light side battle. But it is what it is. Thankfully, it's not as bad as what it is. Recently, I've been getting a lot of quests that have helped to push my level up. But at the same time, too, if those quests weren't available for whatever reason, someone had missed them and they weren't really paying attention to it, they could be here for quite a few amount of, I could say it could almost be like maybe a week or two and just really get stuck behind the game. I must emphasize just here in the con section that getting these activities done and these quests is the way to go if you really want to push just the account level up. But I can see some people getting stuck with that, maybe not having enough power, maybe not being able to get the right gear or get some strong allies. This can sometimes really slow the game down. So I think it would be a good thing to be able to have that ability to unlock it as they go, and that way they don't feel like they're constantly working really hard towards it. I know it sort of couples with the idea of it being a long term progression, but it just seems like an odd choice considering if people are really invested in it, they're only going to play it for years anyway. You might as well give it to them. And the second con, more or less, is probably more just a personal nitpick than anything else. I know the nature of the game, so I would say it's probably more so me than the actual game. If we go, I've gone into the wrong section, but if we go to the collection, and if we go into Canaan, and we go into this, 20 of these things is crazy. To the point where a lot of the time you're just burning energy constantly and not getting anything. I feel like if you're spending energy, you should at least get one, meaning you'll have to do it 20 times if you only ever roll the one. Sometimes to get nothing at all is just wasting energy. I know it's about time and trying to slow it down so the players constantly feel like they're grinding, and I think that's part of the pattern of having to get like either be patient or buy some bundles or some crystals to be able to expand that roster and power up a little bit more quickly. But I just sort of wish in the back of my head, I keep sort of coming back to the idea, it would be nice if we could just get at the minimum one every single time and have to do 20 battles, which means you'd be spending 120 energy. If you have a look here, I've only got 108 in the top right. It's a whole day's worth of energy in this case even more than that in one go. So I feel like it's a fair trade, but it is the way it is. I can't really change it. I don't think we would ever see it change. So we just sort of see how we go from there. But all in all, I don't think it's the end of the world, but it is something to suggest because I feel like with the way that it is, it might turn some people off. So where do I rate the account as of now? Right now, I think the account or my personal account is in a pretty good space. I am definitely going to keep playing this game. I'm going to keep making videos about it and just talking about my account as I go on. I am working currently on another review of the Phoenix Squad, but that's going to be in another video. My final thoughts for this 7-day review is that if you are interested in playing this game, I think you're in a really good spot to do it if you're interested in playing completely free. You have to be aware that you are not going to progress super quickly in the game. There will be points where it is faster than others, but at the same time too, you have to understand that because it's free to play and you're not investing any money in, or even if you're not using your gems, you are you are stuck basically on the treadmill based on how much energy that you can accumulate in any given day. Sometimes you'll catch the refills. If you have a look here, you'll see they give you bonus energy for a little bit of a refill and a top up. Otherwise, you're stuck waiting for it. If you can get past that, you can collect all your favorite Star Wars characters. There's plenty of progression. There's heaps to do, heaps to collect, heaps to see. Infinite amount of power. You'll see at the top here, I've got 53,000 galactic power. If you look at some other YouTubers, some of them are in excess of 10 million galactic power. It's just absolutely insane. There's characters to collect. There's mods, which I believe here in the top right. This bottom thing, I don't know what that is at the moment. There's spaceships, so there's even ship battles and all that sort of stuff. There's heaps to do in this game. There's PvP, there's guild events. There's just so much. I can't sort of put it all out there because I haven't sort of played a lot of it at the moment. I'm still working on it. But I think you're in a really good space to actually sit down and play this game as a free-to-play player in 2024. As far as the cons go, I don't think any of them are that much of a deal breaker. Some of them are a little bit more tedious than others. I know I only listed 2. If I find any more, I'll do a follow-up video. But I think at this point in time, it's safe to say that the pros and what's on offer far outweigh the cons. It's pretty free-to-play friendly in the respect that it doesn't force you to use loot boxes. You can farm the characters that you want. All in all, the package up front after 7 days, I would probably give this game probably about a 7.5 out of 10. Really worth your time if you're a Star Wars fan. Give it a crack, see how you go, and let me know if you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to work my way up to 10 subscribers. Feel free to help us achieve that goal. Leave me a comment with your thoughts on the game in this review, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. See you later.